Hey guys, sorry for the entrance I did there. Today is creepy scary Saturday. And you still haven't smashed the like button. You know how much I wanted to deal with these scumbags who tried to rob my house? Well, this baby right here gets to deal with them off. You may be wondering why I'm wearing this jacket. You see, I've been hiding from these robbers, but I don't think they're here in my house anymore. So I got some great news. The robbers are in jail right now, and we have designed a bomb proof, so that way they won't even escape anymore, and hopefully their boss will not be able to get their goons out in the jail cell. So with that being said, get your snacks, and I'm gonna go check on the window and just put my hoodie back on, and also let's get started. I'm gonna go check out the entrance. You go get some snacks. But we're gonna get this started as soon as possible. If you don't know what the Creepy Scary Saturday is, or whether you just subscribed like 10 minutes ago, it's a scary show as we are the Ferrero Nation. On every Saturday, we react to scary videos. Make sure you get your snacks, your Ferrero chocolate, your cookies, and your chips. I hope you're having a good Saturday. So with that being said, first video. The first video of the week is called Creepy Hide and Seek Horror Story Animated. So this video was done by Rancy Entertainment, which is a very good channel. Rancy, I'm just a fan here, so don't even copyright strike me. I've tried to record some animations and trying to have fun here. So let's press play and watch this video. True Hide and Seek Horror Story Animated.
I have 3 sisters, Crystal, Kiara, and Melissa. I'm the youngest and only boy. Growing up, we lived in a haunted house.
Wow.
In fact, the neighborhood was haunted.
Damn.
All the neighbors had experiences. Apparently, it was all built over a military grave site.
Oh my
but I'm not sure how true that is. This was years ago. I was about 5, I think. And my
5?
sisters were around their early teens. Our cousin, Vincent, who we call Vincy, was staying over. He's the same age as my sisters. We used to play hide and seek with all the lights in the house turned off, apart from any room our parents were in. So this night was going great. The only source of light was a flashlight that the seeker had. Crystal was usually found quickly because she had, and still has, really long curly red hair, and it almost glowed bright orange in the light. Kiara has long straight blonde hair, so she was found quickly too. But Melissa and I have black hair, so we could blend in better. However, this night, Kiara was the seeker. She found us fairly quickly and only had Vincy to find. So she went to our parents' room and shined the light inside. Our parents had 2 white wardrobes that were attached on either side of a white dressing table, with a mirror on top of it. Kiara could see one of the wardrobe doors was slightly opened, and inside of it, in the darkness, she could see eyes staring out at her.
Oh!
Then shouted, "Found you, Vincy!" But the eyes didn't move. They just stared at her. "I see you, Vincy," she laughed again. Suddenly, on the opposite side of the room, the curtains of the window flew open, and Vincy jumped from the window ledge laughing. Kiara looked at him in confusion. But I thought. Suddenly the confusion turned to fear when she looked back at the wardrobe. The eyes were still there.
Whoa!
And staring at Vincy, but then slowly looked back in her direction. Kiara screamed and quickly turned on the room light and they could both now see that the wardrobe was empty.
Oh my
Nobody
gosh.
hiding, no pets, no boxes, nothing.
Oh no.
Hide and seek in the dark soon became a memory after that.
Damn. Here's my advice to all of you at home right now. If you guys are planning to play hide and seek in the dark, don't do it. Because the eye will stare at you and it will completely ruin your hide and seek moments. I just don't want you guys to just end up like his sisters, because it's getting really complicated right now. The second video we're gonna react to is True Road Trip Horror Stories Animated. Look guys, I already seen True Road Trip stories on Koi X Kenshin, and it just freaking scared the crap out of me, I'm telling you. By the way guys, put your headphones on. If you don't have headphones, then buy them. If you do have them, put them on, because
this is about to be spooky for y'all.
True Road Trip Horror Stories Animated.
I was on a road trip with my friend Tom throughout upstate New York. On our second night of driving, we were taking some peaceful back road through the woods because we were tired of the noisy highway. So as we were driving down this narrow, dilapidated road, Tom suddenly really needed to use the bathroom. I asked him if he could hold it, but he said that if he held it any longer, his bladder would explode. So I just sighed and tried to find like a gas station or something. There was nothing to be seen though, so I was thinking about pulling over and letting him piss in the woods, but finally I saw lights cutting through the darkness up ahead. It was a 7-Eleven, thank God.
Huh.
Before I'd even parked the car, Tom flew out the door and raced inside. I realized while waiting in the dark car I was actually hungry, so I pulled out some change from my pocket. It would at least be enough for a bag of crappy Cheetos or something. So then I went inside.
What?
As I was walking through the store examining everything on the shelves, I felt a tingly feeling on my neck, like I was being watched. I turned around and saw a bearded man in a yellow suit casually slip into the other aisle. I rolled my eyes, picked up a bag of Cheez-Its, purchased them, and walked out back to my car, looking at the dark woods behind the 7-Eleven. Tom had been gone forever, so I texted him and he told me he was just finishing taking a huge shit, which was classic Tom. I was just crunching on my Cheez-Its when I heard somebody go, "Psst."
What?
Psst. I quickly looked around but saw nobody.
What the hell?
Over here.
Oh no!
Finally I spotted a man peeking his head around a tree in the dark woods. His face was all dirty, and he had glassy eyes. We stood staring at each other for what seemed like the longest time, until he said, "Come over here.
No, don't trust him.
Show you something."
Don't trust him, boy.
No. I got in my car and locked the doors, texting Tom to hurry the f*** up. I told him there was a creepy weirdo outside the car, and he was all like, "Alright, be right over." Later on, he walked out the doors and climbed into the car, and I hit the gas to get as far away from that
Get out!
as possible.
Bo!
As we were driving, I looked back one last time in the rearview mirror and saw 3 cloaked bolts in the 7-Eleven. Needless to say, I still have no idea what the hell was going on at that place.
Bo!
Nor do I ever want to find out.
Oh my gosh. Okay. That was scary. You see that, folks? That was some scary stuff right there. That creepy guy tried to trick him, and that guy's like, hell no. So he went to the car, ticked his friend, and then zoomed out of here. Like, you can't trust a freaking stranger. If you fell for it, just don't trust him, because he looked like a freaking red-headed beast from Beauty and the Beast, and his eyes are red like the freaking devil, and his teeth look disgusting from my eye. Now I'm done roasting this dude. Let's move on to the third video. The third video of the week is called Creepy Man Followed Me Home from Scenery. So basically this creepy guy is following this dude from Scenery. I don't know what the freak is going on. Let's just play this and find out, because this is about to get very creepy for y'all.
One day, when I was in the 6th grade, on a rainy day, I was walking home.
You were 12 years
On my
old.
walk, which is about a mile or so long, I had to walk through a cemetery. Not a stereotypical, shabby, haunted one, but one that had many people walking through and was usually full of maintenance employees. I remember walking by a group of them sitting on benches on a break. I thought nothing of it, as he stood up and started walking at a fair distance. After a bit, I looked back at him and he looked down quickly.
Oh,
He was in the same baby blue uniform as the others and had a gray beard, but I made out a name tag, Frank P.
Frank P.
As the other workers faded from sight, he was still behind me. I began to worry. A moment later, he called out, "It's wet, huh?" in a friendly voice. I chuckled politely and agreed. My worries increased a second later when I walked out and he was still behind me. I was close to my house now and it started to pour. My house in sight, I started jogging to get there. I glanced back and I saw the man, visibly angry, start running. As my house got closer, I began to sprint. I didn't look back as I slung the key out of my backpack and opened the door. I looked behind me. I saw the man in the middle of the street. I walked over to the phone and dialed 911.
Yeah, well.
Before I called, I looked out the window. He was gone. I told my mom what happened when she got home. She didn't believe me.
What?
That night, I couldn't sleep. There was lightning outside, and I could see occasional shadows from the flashes through my window in my living room. I lay watching the flashes when I saw a strange outline. I got closer and saw an outline of a man. I stood up and walked out of my room. I walked into the living room. It was completely dark outside. I stood in the doorway and waited. A car's headlight illuminated the pale, shallow face of Frank P. I ran into my room and locked the door. I never saw him after that night. But whenever I see that baby blue uniform, I think back to that night and that haunting image of a skeletal, unnatural face of Frank P.
What the freak's this man's problem is, huh? Trying to creep around the kid? Trying to be friendly with them? Nah, sucker. He's trying to, like, kidnap you. It's not even good, though. This man looked like a cold-blooded vampire. Yeah, like, I tell you, I keep roasting the dudes who look like this. And just be the bad guy. I just don't trust anybody anymore. Like, I just can't deal with this man. I'm freaking done with this. The fourth video we're reacting is True Creepy Stalker Horror Story Animated. If the stalker's right behind you, you just run. Look back carefully, like this, slowly, and then just start running. And when you turn back, you see this guy angry. Like, you gotta save yourself. I just got these nightmares that I have a feeling about it. If that happened to me, I would just record it. Like, I need to, so that I can show you the footage or something like that. True Creepy Stalker Horror Story Animated.
My name is Victor, and I'm 23 years old.
Victor!
I have a story that happened to me when I was 17 years old. I work as a carpenter at a local building company, and this happened at the period when I was a trainee for the same company.
Ooh.
We were renovating a very old apartment building from around the 1960s that was going to be school classrooms for a school that had bought the building. As many carpenters, we were working on Friday, which basically means that we started earlier the rest of the week so we could go home early on Fridays, which means it was a lot of very early mornings. So one day, I was on my way to work at about 4:30 in the morning and was walking the usual way to my bus. It was about 1 kilometer. It was through the block I was living on and then through a small path in the forest, about 200 meters. By this time in the morning, it was still pitch black because it was winter and I live in Sweden. So the path through the forest was like a black hole. So I grabbed my phone and put the flashlight on, an old iPhone 4S by the way, and began walking the small path. About halfway on the path, I heard a crackling noise from
What?
my right and flashed my light in the direction and saw nothing.
Huh.
I just figured it was an animal or something. At the end of the path, I heard the crackling noise again, but this time it was much closer. I had always been a little paranoid in the dark, but was trying to get over it. But I began walking a little faster anyway, keeping an eye behind me the whole time. When I arrived at the bus station, I sat down, waiting for the bus, and was saying to myself that I was a coward for being so paranoid about a small sound I heard. I could see the forest I walked through from the bus station because it was only about 50 meters from the station. And when I looked at the path, I saw a man standing behind a tree.
Oh!
Right, about 10 meters to the right of the path.
Oh my
He
gosh!
was clearly watching me. He was
Damn!
wearing black pants and an old light blue, almost pastel colored jacket, like it was from the 80s. I felt a bit
Serious?
sick when I realized he was watching me, even though it was only for about 20 seconds before I saw the bus arriving from around the corner. I immediately felt relief when I saw the bus. So I stepped on the bus, and it was as usual, completely empty.
Yep.
I sat at the back of the bus and looked back at the forest to see if the man was still there, but he wasn't. When the bus began to take off, I heard a thud right beside my window. I quickly looked at the
Oh!
side and saw an arm reaching up to my window waving at me, and the arm was wearing a light blue jacket. I didn't have time to see his face because he was wearing a hood, and the bus had already taken off. On the way down to downtown, I tried not to think about the man, but it was so hard because it was so weird, and something like that had never happened to me before.
Bro.
I eventually got off the bus at my bus stop and began walking to the building where I had my working clothes and my gear. It was really close to my bus stop, so it only took me maybe about 5 minutes to walk there.
5 minutes?
When I arrived at the door to the building, I grabbed my key and was about to put it in the keyhole when I saw in the corner of my eye, peeking out from the building's corner,
What?
that man in the light blue jacket standing.
Are you
looking
kidding
at
me?
I quickly unlocked the door, ran inside, locked it behind me. After that, it was 2 more doors. Both needed an access card, so nobody without the card could get inside. After the first door, it was a long hallway.
Oh,
to the left,
hell no.
only lit up by a few lights in the roof, and a ring in front of you. It was the second door that led to my locker in the coffee room. I ran as fast as I could. I was shaking at this time. There is no way I could think of how he could have got down here so fast. I put on some
Damn.
coffee and changed to my working clothes. It was completely quiet in the room. It felt like hours before my coworkers showed up. When they finally showed up, I felt the best feeling in a long time.
Wow.
When it was time to get started with working, we began walking towards the elevator that led up to the top floor, which we were currently working on. When we arrived at the top floor, I realized I forgot my helmet in the locker. So I took the elevator down, went through the 2 doors, and got my helmet, and was
Okay.
making my way back up to the others. When I had opened the first door and was standing in the dark hallway, I froze. I heard someone whispering my name from the back of the hallway.
What?
Down the hallway and saw the same man, the same light blue jacket. He was standing there looking at me. Then he said something I will never forget. "You look so peaceful when you sleep, Victor," he said in a deep but shaking voice. I felt my whole world shatter when he said that. Then I ran for it. I opened the door and slammed it behind me. I ran to the elevator and smashed the button to the top floor. It felt like I was going 100 floors before I got to the top. I ran to the others and told them what happened. They just laughed at me and thought I was silly, saying that nobody can get in there without a card. I planned to call the police, but I didn't for some reason. Probably because I didn't want to look like a coward in front of the others. Eventually, I never saw that man again. I don't know if I was hallucinating or he was really there. I have no idea. But I never walked the same path to my bus again, and I always sleep with my curtains down, even to this day.
Bro. That feeling has got me the worst stalkers ever. Like, I can't deal with this man. This blue hooded freak, bro. Imagine if the stalker comes up to me and I'm like, I need to do something. I need to be more serious. Like, I need to, like, put my phone out, like, quickly, like, press like this, like, press record. And with my flashlight, I'll go like this and just see the man. And I'll be like, oh my god, this is gonna be the worst thing ever in my entire life. So anyways, last video. The final video of the week is Smiling Woman Story Animated. Alright, let's watch that. Oh my gosh. It's about to be creepy.
I was 10 years old, and I was home alone. But that wasn't a big deal because we lived in a small city. My mom and dad were at my grandma's house.
Oh.
I couldn't go because I was sick. It was around 9 p.m. when I was about to go to sleep. My room was really small, and it only had one window facing my bed. That window to me was kind of scary, because when you're a little kid, your imagination can sometimes go wild. At that time, it wasn't my imagination, though.
What?
Like I said, I was about to go to bed when I heard a loud scream coming from outside. It was really scary, but I tried to be quiet so I could listen to what was going on outside. Nothing was happening, though. It was really quiet.
What the hell?
Nothing had happened at all. Quieter than normal, actually. Some time had passed, and everything seemed okay, so I just laid down and tried to sleep.
Okay.
1 hour later, I heard that loud scream again.
What
This
the
time,
freak?
It seemed to be closer. I froze. I was so freaked out I couldn't even move. 30 minutes later, again, the same scream. At that point, I was about to cry. I don't know why, but that scream wasn't just a scream. It was at this high pitch, and it was just so creepy. Finally, 15 minutes later, I saw something at that window. It was a really skinny woman.
Oh!
Happy for some reason.
Ew!
She was smiling, and her smile was so big and creepy.
Oh my
When
gosh.
I saw her, I started crying, and she started screaming again. I was horrified. She was just looking at me, smiling and screaming for the whole night. The next morning, my parents came back home, and I told them everything. They called the police, and the police found out that my window, that was facing my bed, was broken. But it didn't seem like it was broken with some sort of weapon, but as if it were broken by a really high pitch.
Oh my gosh. That old lady is screaming and smiling like a freak. Well, this is not what it seems. What about the robbers? Oh, they're not coming. So anyways guys, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, make sure to smash that like button, share this video with your friends, subscribe today to become the Jugger, and I will see you guys next time. I'm really glad that you're staying here in this scary Saturday. So, got some business to take care of.
Forever, we got a situation back at the police station.
Alright, I'll be right there. Okay guys, I hope you have a great Saturday, and I hope that you will avoid these mistakes. So, with that being said, this is Officer Ferrero, signing off from Creepy Scary Saturdays. And also one more thing, if you want to share the Creepy Scary Saturdays, tell your family and friends. So with that being said, I'll see you all next week. Ciao! Sorry guys, I was in the middle of a video. What is it?